All right, so we're diving into some pretty fascinating stuff today. This whole AI thing
Yeah.
versus the human mind. I mean, it's really kind of like a battle for who's got the bigger brains, right?
It feels like I think. Yeah, I mean that's an interesting way to frame it, and it's timely, right?
Yeah,
Because we're seeing all these advancements, particularly on the AI front.
absolutely. And it's interesting the sources you picked out because they do such a good job of laying out
Mm-hmm.
like what AI can do, like right now, not just like
Yeah.
speculation,
Hmm.
but also, really kind of digging into what makes us human, like intellectually human.
Absolutely, yeah. So, I mean, your mission, if you choose to accept it, and I think you have by sharing these articles,
Right.
is to kind of figure out where this is all headed. I mean,
Yeah. Is AI going to become the dominant intelligence?
right, exactly. Are we heading towards some sort of singularity, or, does the
Right.
human brain still hold the top spot with all its quirks and emotions and all that messy stuff?
Right. Yeah. Does the soul win out?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's dive in.
Okay, let's do it.
So maybe we should start with just how much AI has advanced. I mean, it's amazing how quickly
Yeah.
things have progressed, especially in the last few decades.
It's pretty mind-boggling when you actually like list it all out. I mean, we're talking about AI that can drive cars.
Right. I mean, pretty much drive cars almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost drive cars. I mean, i- diagnose diseases with, really impressive accuracy, make art, write content. I mean, even putting together deep dives like this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's across so many domains too. It's not just one particular area.
Right. And we have these really specific examples like ChatGPT, which a lot of people have
Yes, of
probably
course.
played around with by now. And
Yeah.
uh,
And I mean, just the ability to generate coherent text on, you know,
yeah.
any topic pretty much that you can throw at it.
And it does it in a way that sounds like a person, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And then you've got things like AlphaFold, which is, revolutionizing biology by
Yeah.
figuring out protein structures, which is like a fundamental problem.
Hugely complex.
Yeah, it's hugely complex. And then you've got the AI art generators like Midjourney
Yeah.
that are creating,
Yeah.
these incredibly beautiful and strange images.
Right. So it does seem like every day there's a new milestone.
Right.
But how does this actually work? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like these systems are suddenly like having these, flashes of insight like we
Yeah.
do, right?
Yeah, that's a key point.
Uh,
AI doesn't think the way
yeah.
we think. It's not conscious in the way that we're conscious.
So it's not about understanding, is it?
No, it's not about understanding in the way that we understand. It's really about pattern recognition
Okay.
on a massive scale.
So if you've got like these huge language models, they're basically
Yeah.
just like taking in all
Yeah.
this information and figuring out what word is most likely to come next.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, it's like a super powerful autocomplete.
So it's not like it's reading Shakespeare and
Yeah.
understanding like the themes.
Right. It's not getting the nuance and the beauty and the emotional depth of it. Like, it's just looking at the patterns of the words.
And so then the question becomes, is this like super fast pattern recognition?
Yeah.
Is that inherently better than the human mind?
Yeah. And that's a question I think we'll be grappling with as we go through this deep dive.
Okay, so let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the human brain.
Okay, sure.
This 3-pound marvel that we've got inside our skulls, it's really
It's a pretty remarkable organ.
incredible, right?
86 billion neurons or so, they say,
Yeah.
and trillions of connections, and it's constantly changing and adapting.
And it's not just about like calculating or,
Right.
solving problems. It's also about emotions and
Yes.
creativity and imagination. I
Yeah.
mean,
We can feel joy and sadness and anger and love, and we can dream and imagine and create.
right. And that's something that AI, as we know it,
Yeah.
can't really do it, can simulate it,
Right.
but it doesn't actually experience those things.
That's right. And that's a really fundamental difference, I think, because it's those feelings that actually drive a lot of what we do as humans. They inspire our art and our music.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the feeling, it's about understanding the why,
Yes.
right? Why are we doing the things we're doing? Why do things matter?
The meaning behind things.
Right. And our brains are constantly like taking in information
Hmm.
and interpreting it and creating stories out of it.
Absolutely. We're storytellers.
Right.
We're constantly weaving narratives to make sense of the world.
And, let's be honest, we're not always rational.
Absolutely not. No, we're messy.
We have biases and we forget things and,
All the
we
time.
make mistakes. But at the same time, that same messy brain
Yeah.
has led to some incredible achievements.
Absolutely. We've created amazing art and music and literature and technology.
Yeah. So, I mean, think about like a Beethoven symphony.
Yeah.
right? Or a Frida Kahlo painting.
Yeah.
The experience of falling in love. I mean, these are all
Deeply human.
deeply human things that are tied to our emotions,
Yeah.
our experiences. And I think AI just hasn't
Right.
gotten there yet. So what is it?
Yeah, what is it about the human mind?
Yeah, what is it about the human mind that gives it that edge?
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing is that AI is incredibly fast
Yeah.
at processing information. I mean, it can analyze huge data sets and spot patterns.
In like nanoseconds, right?
Yeah, nanoseconds.
Yeah.
And we just can't compete with that kind of speed,
But maybe we don't have to.
right?
I
So if
got
we don't have to, maybe our strength lies in something else.
maybe
And-
depth.
Right, in the depth of our understanding.
Right, because we can actually take the time to think about things.
Yeah, we can pause and reflect and connect the dots in ways that AI just hasn't figured out how to do yet.
And we can assign meaning to things in a way that AI can't.
Yeah, I mean, AI is based on algorithms. It's following rules, whereas we're using intuition and creativity and all these messy human things.
Look in chess, for example. I mean, AI can beat the best human players.
You can, yeah.
But there's still something about the way a grandmaster thinks.
Yeah.
That's just different.
There's an elegance to it. There's an intuition
Right.
that AI just doesn't seem to have yet.
So maybe the question isn't who's faster, but who has more soul.
Yeah. Is it about speed or is it about something deeper?
Okay, so let's talk about creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Can AI actually be creative?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting question.
Or is it just mimicking what it's learned?
Yeah, because we see AI generating poems and writing songs and even making movies.
Right, and it can be really impressive stuff.
It is impressive, and it's easy to think like, wow, this is real creativity.
Right.
But when you dig a little deeper, you realize that it's all based on patterns.
It's like remixing, right?
Yeah, it's remixing. It's taking what it's learned and recombining it in new ways, but it's not coming from
Right.
that same place that human creativity comes from.
Because when we create something, it usually comes from a personal place,
Yeah.
right? Like joy or sorrow or love.
Exactly. Our experiences, our memories, our emotions, they all feed into our creative process.
Right, and that's something AI doesn't have. But maybe that doesn't mean that AI can't be a part of the creative process.
That's right. I mean, we're seeing a lot of artists and musicians and filmmakers starting to use AI as a tool.
Like as a collaborator.
Yeah, as a collaborator. So maybe it's not about AI versus human creativity.
Right.
Maybe it's about AI and human creativity working together.
Like AI can help us come up with new ideas or explore new possibilities.
Absolutely. And we can bring our own human perspective and emotion to the table.
Okay, so let's talk about another area where AI seems to struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Emotion and empathy.
Yeah, this is a big one.
I mean, AI can sort of recognize emotions, right?
It can recognize patterns that are associated with certain emotions.
Right, it can see a facial expression and say,
Yeah, that person looks sad.
oh, that's a
Right.
sad face.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually feel sadness.
Right, doesn't understand what it's like to feel sad.
And this is a problem because empathy is really about
Yeah,
understanding what someone else is feeling.
absolutely. And connecting with them on an emotional level.
And we do this all the time as humans. We can read between the lines. We
Right.
can understand sarcasm. We can pick up on subtle cues.
We can sense when someone's upset even if they're not saying it.
Right. And all of that is based on our ability to understand and share emotions.
And AI just doesn't have that ability yet.
So looking ahead, I mean, there's this whole concept of the singularity, right?
Yeah, the idea that AI will eventually surpass human intelligence and then things will really start to change.
Right. And people like Elon Musk have even warned about
Yeah.
the potential dangers of this, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary thought. If you create something that's smarter than you,
And you can't control it.
yeah, and you don't know what its goals are.
Right.
But, there are also people who say that true AI consciousness
Right.
might never happen, that it's all just science fiction.
Yeah, but even if we don't have a full-blown singularity,
Yeah.
we are seeing this blurring of the lines between humans and machines.
Yeah, absolutely, with things like brain-computer interfaces.
Right. I mean, Neuralink, for example,
Yeah.
where they're actually trying to connect brains to computers.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty wild stuff.
And then you have like augmented cognition where we're using technology
Yeah.
to enhance our own abilities.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not about AI versus humans.
Right.
Maybe it's about humans becoming more like AI.
Yeah, or AI becoming more like humans or some kind of hybrid.
So back to your original question,
Yeah.
who wins this battle? AI or the human mind?
Yeah, I mean, after all this discussion, I'm not sure it's about winning or losing.
I think you're right. I don't think it's about one side
Yeah.
conquering the other.
It's more nuanced than that.
I mean, AI is clearly really good at certain things.
Yeah, like speed and efficiency and processing massive amounts of data.
Right.
And it can do things that we can never dream of doing.
But humans are still really good at other things.
Yeah, like creativity and empathy and understanding the meaning of things.
So maybe the best outcome is that we figure out how to work together?
Yeah, a collaboration,
Hmm.
a partnership.
Right, the speed and logic of AI combined with the creativity and empathy of humans.
Yeah, a symbiosis of machine and mind.
A pretty powerful combination.
Yeah, something for our listener to ponder.
Definitely.
And on that note,
Right, so thank you for joining us on this deep dive
yep,
into the world of AI and the human mind.
it's been a fascinating journey.
It really has, and it's something that I think everyone should be thinking about,
Absolutely.
whether you're a tech enthusiast or just someone who's curious about the future.
And we hope you'll share this deep dive with others who might find it interesting.
Yeah, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our future explorations into the world of intelligence
Yes,
and technology. And as you go about your day-to-day, just take a moment
Mm-hmm.
to appreciate your own amazing human mind.
It's a pretty incredible thing.
It really is. Stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.
See you then.